is a sacred strength in silence. In a world filled with noise, pressure, and endless movement, silence becomes your greatest teacher. When you stop forcing, stop chasing, and stop explaining, life begins to flow effortlessly. The universe doesn't respond to struggle. It responds to energy. And your silent energy, calm and centered, carries more power than 1,000 words. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of your true self. When you step away from the noise of the world, from the endless chatter of opinions, doubts, and distractions, something extraordinary begins to happen inside you. You reconnect with the quiet wisdom that has always lived within. You begin to hear your own voice again, the voice of your soul. In silence, you don't lose power, you find it. You realize that the answers you have been searching for were never outside of you. They were waiting patiently within, beneath the noise. When you allow yourself to be still, you begin to see life differently. You notice the rhythm of your breath, the way energy moves through your body, the way your emotions rise and fall like waves. Silence gives you the clarity to observe without judgment. It allows your mind to soften, your heart to open, and your spirit to rest. In this sacred stillness, you no longer feel the need to force or rush anything. You begin to understand that life unfolds perfectly when you align with it, not when you resist it. Your true power does not come from how loudly you speak or how much you do. It comes from your inner peace, the quiet confidence that radiates from knowing who you are. When you are silent, you stop seeking approval. You stop explaining your worth to others. You no longer chase people or opportunities that drain your energy. Instead, you stand still and allow what is meant for you to come naturally. Silence reminds you that you are already whole, already enough, and already guided by something far greater than yourself. In a world that teaches you to always speak, react, and compete, silence becomes your rebellion. It becomes your healing. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you protect your peace. Every time you choose stillness over anxiety, you reclaim your power. You begin to respond from wisdom rather than emotion. You stop letting circumstances control your mood because you understand that your calm is your command. The quieter you become, the more powerful your energy feels, and that energy starts to change everything around you. In moments of silence, you can hear the gentle whispers of your intuition, that inner voice that says, "Trust this path. Let go of that pain. You are safe." It's the voice of truth that always knows what to do next, even when your logical mind feels lost. But you can only hear it when you are still. Silence clears the mental clutter so that guidance can flow through effortlessly. The more you honor silence, the louder that divine guidance becomes. You start making decisions that align with your soul rather than your fear. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. It holds the wisdom of your past and the vision of your future. It is in silence that you release what no longer serves you. The old stories, the need to be understood, the weight of overthinking. You simply let it all go and breathe. You begin to trust that what is meant for you will never miss you. And as you rest in that faith, a quiet confidence takes root inside you. That confidence becomes magnetic. It draws peace, love, and abundance toward you effortlessly. When you align with silence, you align with your soul. You begin to live from presence rather than pressure. You realize that power is not about control. It's about flow. It's about trusting the timing of life and allowing everything to unfold naturally. In silence, you remember that you are one with the universe, and the universe is always working in your favor. You don't need to chase. You don't need to prove, you simply need to be. And from that stillness, your true power rises. Calm, unshakable, and beautifully aligned with everything you were always meant to become. There comes a moment in life when you realize that all the pushing, controlling, and striving have only created exhaustion, not peace. You've tried to force outcomes, hold on to people who were never meant to stay, and rush timing that wasn't aligned with your path. Yet, no matter how hard you tried, things didn't unfold the way you imagined. That is when the lesson arrives. The moment you understand that true power is not found in forcing life, but in allowing it. Allowing means trusting. It means believing that what's meant for you will never require endless struggle. When you stop forcing, you open the door to flow. You stop swimming against the current and instead allow the river of life to carry you exactly where you're meant to go. This doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means aligning your actions with trust, not fear. It means knowing that when something doesn't work, it's not a punishment, it's protection. Every closed door, every delay, every unanswered prayer is redirecting you to something better, something designed specifically for you. The need to control comes from fear. Fear that if you don't make things happen, nothing will happen. But that's not how the universe works. The universe responds to energy, not effort. When you're forcing something, your energy says, I don't trust this process. I'm afraid I'll lose it. But when you allow, your energy says, I'm open, I'm ready. I know what's mine will find me. That openness creates space for miracles. It invites divine timing to take its natural course. Letting go of force also means letting go of attachment to specific outcomes. So often, we believe happiness lives in one particular result, a certain job, a relationship, a goal achieved on our timeline. But life's wisdom is far greater than our plans. Sometimes the thing we want so badly isn't what we truly need for our highest growth. When you stop forcing, you allow the universe to surprise you with something better than what you were holding on to. You begin to see that surrender is not losing control, it's gaining alignment. When you start allowing, your energy softens. You begin to breathe more deeply, trust more fully, and live more peacefully. Opportunities that once felt out of reach begin to appear naturally. People who are meant to support your journey start showing up effortlessly. You no longer chase what's leaving or cling to what doesn't fit. You simply align with what feels right and release what feels heavy. You understand that forcing creates resistance, but allowing creates flow. This way of living transforms how you experience everything. Instead of rushing, you move with grace. Instead of worrying, you wait with faith. You understand that the universe is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in perfect timing. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually divine preparation, the space needed for something extraordinary to unfold. Your role is not to control every detail, but to stay aligned with your peace and trust that everything is coming together exactly as it should. There is beauty in allowing. It teaches you patience, humility, and faith. It teaches you to listen to your intuition, to recognize when it's time to act and when it's time to rest. You begin to trust your energy more than your schedule. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start affirming, it's already on its way. You live from a place of calm expectancy instead of anxious effort. Life was never meant to be a battle. It was meant to be a dance. And when you stop forcing, you finally start dancing with the rhythm of the universe. You move in harmony with the unseen flow that guides all things. You no longer chase what is yours. You attract it effortlessly. Because what is truly meant for you doesn't need to be forced. It finds its way naturally, gently, and beautifully, in perfect divine timing. There is a sacred power in the moments when you choose silence over reaction. It takes great strength to remain calm when someone provokes you, misunderstands you, or tries to pull you into their chaos. The world often teaches us to defend, to argue, to prove our worth. But silence teaches something higher, that peace is far more powerful than words. When you respond with silence, you are not avoiding confrontation, you are mastering yourself. You are saying, my energy is too valuable to waste on things that do not align with my peace. When you stay silent, you give the universe space to reveal truth on its own. You don't need to expose anyone, prove your innocence, or fight to be understood. Time always reveals what silence protects. People's true intentions eventually surface, and you realize that your calm presence spoke louder than any argument could have. Silence carries a vibration that cannot be ignored. It speaks of self-control, dignity, and confidence. It says, I trust that the truth will take care of itself. When you react impulsively, you give away your power. You let someone else dictate your emotions. But when you stay grounded and choose not to react, you keep your energy in your own hands. This is not weakness. It is emotional mastery. It means you've learned that peace is more valuable than being right. You've realized that not every battle deserves your energy, and not every comment requires your attention. Silence is the boundary that protects your mental and spiritual well-being. Sometimes silence is the only response that can truly heal a situation. When words can't fix what's broken, when explanations only make things worse, silence brings clarity. It gives you the time to step back, breathe, and see things from a higher perspective. In silence, emotions settle. You can feel your intuition whispering the truth beneath the noise. You can understand what's really happening without the distortion of anger or ego. And in that stillness, wisdom grows. The one who can stay silent in chaos holds the greatest power, because silence disarms negativity. It confuses those who expect a reaction and breaks the cycle of conflict. When someone tries to provoke you and you remain calm, you're no longer playing their game. You rise above it. You shift from reacting to responding, or sometimes not responding at all. That silence becomes your armor and your message at the same time. It says, I will not lower my vibration for anyone. There is also deep healing in choosing silence when words are fueled by pain. So many times, we speak from wounds, not wisdom. We say things we later regret, and in doing so, we prolong our suffering. Silence gives us space to process, to understand, and to let go. It gives us the power to respond from peace rather than react from hurt. The moment you realize you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to is the moment you step into emotional freedom. In relationships, silence can also teach others how to treat you. When you stop engaging in toxic conversations, stop explaining your boundaries, stop defending your worth, people begin to understand your silence as strength. You no longer have to shout to be heard. Your energy speaks for you. Silence says, I respect myself enough to walk away. It says, I choose peace over chaos. Life will always present moments that test your patience and trigger your emotions. But every time you choose silence over reaction, you evolve. You show the universe that you are ready for peace, not drama. That you are guided by intuition, not ego. Over time, you'll see that silence doesn't just protect your peace. It attracts it. It draws in calm energy, balanced people, and situations that match your vibration. You'll notice how effortlessly things begin to align when you stop reacting to what's beneath you. So, the next time someone tests your peace, take a deep breath and smile within. Remember, you lose nothing by staying silent, but you gain everything by keeping your energy intact. Silence is not empty, it's full of answers, truth, and divine protection. It is the language of strength, the voice of wisdom, and the mark of someone who has learned that true power doesn't need to prove itself. It simply stands still and lets the truth speak for itself. The universe is always moving, always creating, always responding, not to chaos or desperation, but to stillness. Still energy is the language of alignment, the vibration of faith, and the home of manifestation. When your mind is calm and your heart is centered, you become a clear channel for life to flow through. The more peaceful your energy, the more easily the universe can work on your behalf. Everything you desire, love, abundance, clarity, healing, is already in motion, waiting to meet you at the frequency of stillness. When you are anxious or restless, your energy becomes tangled. You send mixed signals to the universe, one moment asking, the next doubting. This inner turbulence blocks the flow of what you're trying to receive. But when you quiet your thoughts and release control, you move into harmony with life's rhythm. You stop resisting, and everything that once felt stuck begins to move. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing from a place of peace. It means allowing your actions to come from inspiration, not pressure. The universe doesn't rush, and neither should you. It unfolds in divine timing, in a way that is perfect and purposeful. Every flower blooms when it is ready. Every wave reaches the shore in its own time. You can't force life to happen, but you can align yourself so it happens through you. The moment you stop pushing against what is, the current of the universe begins to carry you toward what's next. This is the effortless magic of still energy. It attracts what is meant for you because it vibrates with trust, not tension. In stillness, your intuition becomes your guide. You start hearing the whispers of the universe, gentle nudges, synchronicities, signs that show you the next step. You no longer feel lost because your inner being is connected to something infinite and wise. You begin to notice how everything fits together, how delays were protection, how endings were redirections, how challenges shaped your strength. The more you rest in this awareness, the more you understand that you were never alone in this journey. The universe was always speaking. It was just waiting for you to be quiet enough to listen. Still energy also heals. It softens resistance and clears the emotional clutter that clouds your heart. When you stop fighting against life, your body, mind, and spirit begin to relax. That relaxation opens a space for divine energy to move freely through you. Healing doesn't happen through force. It happens through allowing. When you are still, your natural state of well-being begins to return. The universe flows through every part of you, restoring balance and harmony to all that was once disconnected. Many people believe that power comes from effort, from doing more, achieving more, controlling more. But real power is quiet. It's found in the centered soul who knows that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when nothing seems to be happening. Stillness is magnetic because it signals faith. It says to the universe, I trust you. I know you're working for me. I don't need to chase because what's mine will come. This vibration of trust draws miracles effortlessly because the universe always mirrors your energy back to you. In moments of doubt or impatience, Return to your stillness. Breathe deeply. Remind yourself that the universe is not against you. It's moving through you. The ideas, people, and opportunities that will change your life are already on their way, guided by your energy. Your only task is to remain calm, aligned, and open. Let your energy be still and watch how life begins to flow in ways that once felt impossible. When you learn to live in still energy, you stop chasing outcomes and start living in harmony with creation itself. You understand that your peace is your point of attraction. Your calm is your strength, and your stillness is your connection to the infinite. The universe doesn't respond to force, it responds to flow. And when you choose to be still, you become one with that flow, powerful, peaceful, and completely aligned with the rhythm of life. Silence is medicine for the soul. It is in silence that the mind softens, the heart mends, and the body remembers its natural rhythm. When life becomes loud and overwhelming, when emotions feel tangled and heavy, silence offers a sacred space to breathe again. It is not emptiness. It is presence. It is the gentle energy that allows everything inside you to find balance once more. In silence, you stop running, stop explaining, and stop trying to fix everything. You simply sit with yourself, and that is where the true healing begins. Healing doesn't always come from words or action. Sometimes it comes from sitting quietly with what hurts, allowing yourself to feel without judgment. Silence creates the space for awareness, and awareness is the beginning of transformation. When you are silent, you begin to see your pain for what it truly is, a messenger asking for love, not rejection. You stop distracting yourself with noise and business, and you allow emotions to rise to the surface. And in that gentle acknowledgement, the energy of pain begins to dissolve. Silence teaches you to listen to your soul instead of the world. In the stillness, you begin to hear your inner voice again, the one that gets drowned out by constant noise and comparison. That voice reminds you of your worth, your strength, and your purpose. It speaks softly but with wisdom beyond measure. When you listen deeply, you realize that peace has been waiting inside you all along. Silence rebalances you because it brings you back to the present moment, the only place where healing can truly happen. The past loses its grip. The future stops demanding answers, and you return home to yourself. So often we look for healing outside, in people, in distractions, in validation. But true healing happens within. Silence is the bridge that connects you to that inner sanctuary. It restores harmony to your thoughts, emotions, and spirit. It allows you to see things from a higher perspective, to understand that everything you've been through has been shaping you, not breaking you. In silence, your mind becomes clear, your emotions settle, and your intuition awakens. You begin to sense what needs to stay and what needs to go. The confusion fades, and balance returns naturally. Silence also helps the body heal. When your mind is quiet, your nervous system relaxes. Your breath deepens, your muscles release tension, and your energy begins to flow freely again. This natural state of relaxation allows your body's own wisdom to do its work. The body knows how to heal itself. It just needs space and stillness. Silence gives you that space. It reminds you that healing isn't about fixing yourself. It's about remembering that you were never broken. Rebalancing through silence also means reconnecting with your spiritual energy. When you stop forcing and simply allow, you open the door for divine guidance to flow through you. You start to feel supported by something greater than yourself, an unseen force that gently realigns everything in your life. This is why after moments of deep silence, You often feel lighter, clearer, more whole. The universe moves through quiet energy. The more you surrender into silence, the more the universe can move things on your behalf. Sometimes silence is the only answer you need. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to explain your healing to anyone. You only have to listen to your breath, your intuition, your heart. Healing is not always loud or visible. It's soft, steady, and sacred. It happens in those moments when you choose peace instead of noise, reflection instead of reaction, stillness instead of struggle. In silence, everything begins to make sense. You reconnect with your truth, you restore your energy, and you remember who you are. Silence doesn't just heal you, it transforms you. It brings balance to your spirit and harmony to your life. It reminds you that peace is not something to find, it's something you return to. When you allow silence to fill your being, you become whole again. And in that wholeness, you find the calm strength that allows you to move through life with grace, love, and unshakable peace. There is a quiet wisdom in letting everything come to you naturally. It is the art of trusting life, of allowing things to unfold without force or fear. When you stop chasing, life begins to meet you halfway. What is meant for you doesn't require struggle, it flows toward you in divine timing. The problem is that most of us have been taught to believe that the harder we push, the faster we'll get there. But the truth is, what's truly yours will never miss you, and what isn't meant for you will never stay, no matter how tightly you hold on. Letting things come naturally doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing your part, then letting go of the outcome. It's about aligning your actions with faith instead of anxiety. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check its progress. You water it, you trust it, and you allow it to grow in its own time. The same is true for your dreams, relationships, and healing. Everything blossoms when it is ready, and your task is to create the right energy for that growth to happen. When you live in a state of allowing, you move with life instead of against it. You begin to recognize that every delay has purpose, every ending brings direction, and every challenge refines your strength. You stop asking, "Why isn't it happening yet?" and start affirming, "It's happening in perfect timing." You trust that the universe knows the route, even when you cannot see the path. Life flows more easily when you stop trying to control every detail. You no longer resist what is, and in that surrender, you find peace. When you try to force things, you send out energy of fear and lack. You tell the universe, "I don't believe this will happen unless I control it." That fear creates resistance and blocks the very thing you're trying to attract. But when you release that control and allow, your energy shifts. You begin to vibrate with trust, confidence, and faith. You open the door for life to surprise you with something even better than what you had imagined. The universe responds to ease, not effort. It responds to belief, not desperation. Letting everything come to you naturally also means letting people reveal themselves without trying to change them. It means letting love flow without fear, letting opportunities unfold without pressure, and letting time heal what words cannot. You begin to understand that not every silence needs to be filled, not every situation needs fixing, and not every dream needs to happen right now. What is meant for you is always moving toward you, not because you chase it, but because your energy aligns with it. Patience becomes your power. You learn to wait not with frustration, but with peace. You begin to see that divine timing is never late, even if it feels slow. The universe is always preparing things behind the scenes, aligning people, circumstances, and energy in ways you cannot yet see. And when everything is ready, it appears in your life effortlessly. You don't have to chase, you just have to stay open and ready to receive. The beauty of letting everything come naturally is that it allows you to live in harmony with yourself and with life. You no longer wake up in resistance, fighting the flow. You trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be and that each moment is guiding you closer to what's meant for you. Peace becomes your new normal, and that peace becomes magnetic. The calmer you are, the faster things align. So, take a deep breath and release the need to control. Trust that life knows what it's doing. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Everything that belongs to you is already finding its way to you, gently, easily, and naturally. All you have to do is stay open, stay patient, and stay in faith. When you stop chasing what's leaving and start trusting what's coming, life begins to unfold in the most beautiful and effortless way imaginable.